Welcome back, Doctor Who. It's really good to see you again. Yeah, after what was, in my opinion, two series of mostly rather mediocre episodes with a few exceptions of really good episodes here and there, it really feels to me like Chibnall has finally got the hang of how to make Doctor Who, which is a shame considering it's his last series. If he'd started this way from the beginning, I think he's better in the serialized format. He made great success with the serialized format with Broadchurch and stuff. Maybe he should have done this from the beginning. Maybe it would have been better. I don't know, but I know this era has its fans, and that's great, so I don't want to criticize it too much. If you like it, that's great. I'm glad. Means the show will continue. But yeah, it mostly hasn't been for me up to this point. We'll see if the quality sticks for this series. I really hope it does. But anyway, yeah, on to the next episode. So I really enjoyed this one, obviously. The biggest problem I've had with this era, I think, is the pacing, which makes it seem slow, and in the case of one episode, I'm sorry to say, really boring. This, however, was a well written, fast paced adventure with lots of excitement and witty dialogue. This is what I like to see in Doctor Who. It kept my attention all the way through and made me want to come back for more. And of course, this episode featured the return of the Sontarans. We haven't really had a Sontaran story since 2008. I mean, besides the Strax episodes, of course, and a couple cameos here and there. But I was really, I think everyone was really curious to see how they would be in 2021. Especially, would they be more comical or would they be more terrifying? Or with the new design, they looked a lot more serious. Uh, yeah, I thought they were good. I thought it was pretty neat to see Dan Starkey back as multiple clones, too. It's not only a nice link to the previous eras, but it is more realistic in that since they are clones, it follows there would be many who looked exactly alike. But yeah, it was also nice to see a new Sontaran actor in Jonathan Watson, who I thought did a great job as the somewhat more serious but also somewhat comical Sontaran Commander Skak, which leads me to another point. Yeah, I really liked how the Sontarans were written and performed. They had I thought, a perfect combination, and that, yeah, they were definitely a serious threat, but, with the executions and shooting up that whole army and stuff, they were terrible, but it also didn't shy away from the inherent ridiculousness, which has been there since Commander Lynx and the Time Warrior, who got a mention in this episode, by the way. That was pretty neat. Yeah, I liked, too, how the plan was very unique, using the FLUX to invade. Although, I'm not entirely sure how they plan to survive the FLUX after they took over, but maybe they were just going to go in the past and hang out, but then it would catch up to them eventually still, or maybe they had a plan to shield the Earth like the Lupari are doing. I don't know. Speaking of the Lupari, though, nice to see Carvanista back to save the day, and Dan from the Sontarans. And speaking of Dan, I really like this new companion. John Bishop is not only a hilarious stand up comedian, but as it turns out, a great actor as well. I think he has the most terrific one liners of any companion up to this point. I'd love to see him in the show beyond just these 6 episodes, but sadly, I think he's a one season companion. Unless maybe he is in the specials. Not sure. Ooh, how about Big Finish? Can we get the adventures of Dan and Big Finish, like solving mysteries in Liverpool or something? I mean, I don't know. I assume he's probably going to go back to Liverpool at the end. I hope he has a happy ending. I suspect he's going to go back to Liverpool and, marry maybe, what's her name? Diane, I think, the girl he was supposed to go out with in the first episode. I hope they have a happy ending. The best thing about if he were able to stay somehow, though, would be seeing his reaction to a regeneration. Oh dear, his comical mix of confusion and acceptance of things that he has. It's like that just the kind of almost like sarcastic responses sometimes, like, "Oh, here's your house. I can't live in that." It's just awesome. Uh, but yeah, his just reaction to the regeneration, I think, would be hilarious. But yeah, of course, we also had the historical celebrity of Mary Seacole, who I have to admit I'd never heard of before, but I like it when Doctor Who can teach me things. Yeah, she wasn't used here as much as she would have been in a normal episode where it revolved around her, but I think that makes sense. The episode had a lot of other things to do, and also I think having her there kind of just went to show and really hammered home just what the Sontarans and the Flux had done to history. Yeah, in a normal episode, it would have revolved around her more, but that's the point. It's not a normal episode. It's messing with the very fabric of the show, of everything, of the format. It's really interesting. Yeah, speaking of all the other things going on, Yaz and Vinder, that was an interesting subplot. curious to find out what's going on in that temple with Schwarm and Azure. They're really growing on me as villains, and I'm intrigued to find out more about them. They didn't really grab me in the first one. I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess they're the villains. Cool. But, here, now I'm actually interested. Find out who they are. Can't wait to find out the resolution of the cliffhanger next week. Yeah, what did you guys think? Did you like the episode? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time for my review of FLUX Chapter 3, Once Upon Time.